Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Nostalgia Unboxings. I have calculated that this video should be going up on Christmas Eve, and as such I decided to open up one of the bigger, slightly more expensive things that I have ordered in the past couple, however many weeks. And this thing is, of course, the 2001 Robots in Disguise Megatron figure. I'm also sorry if I'm a little bit quiet this time compared to my other videos because it is quite late. I'm filming quite late today, so my apologies. Also, I apologize in advance for any background noise that might happen. Certain things are out of my control, but hopefully nothing too bad happens. So, let's get this bad boy open. This box is pretty big. I don't know if it's if you guys can tell by the weird camera angle that I have had set up here. I am going to chop my fingers off, I swear to God. Go through, cut. Okay. There we go. And look at all that bubble wrap. Let's put away our trusty knife for now. Although in hindsight, that's probably a bad idea because it is new in box, so I'll have a lot of packaging to go through here. Alright, so let's put that huge shipping box over here. And let's take a look at this bubble wrap cocoon. And here he is. Transformers Robots in Disguise Megatron. So I actually had this toy way back when I was a kid, but I still technically do have it, but it is missing so many parts and stuff that I decided, I should just buy a new one because finding all the replacements is going to be either really hard and just difficult to come across certain parts, or it's just going to end up costing basically like it's going to be super expensive to get all the secondhand parts loose. Just to, build it up. So I thought, I'll take the easier route and the, I guess, more aesthetically pleasing route for the channel and just get it sealed. So this thing is pretty expensive. It is, it cost me, I think, a little bit over $100 sealed. And of course, you can find loose ones for a lot cheaper. A complete loose one, or like a reasonably complete loose one, is probably going to be like $60, which is still really, really expensive, but, it'd be like that sometimes. So yeah, I actually had this toy when I was a kid. I got it for my 5th birthday, I think, and it was obviously the highlight of my birthday. It was the best thing ever. And as you see, it says 6 modes here of transportation with them kind of shown here, but there are actually 4 hidden modes that are kind of weird. So basically they released a second version of this mold of the same toy that's supposed to be Galvatron, which is basically like, I guess, Megatron after he dies and comes back, according to the show for Robots in Disguise, with just a different color scheme. And in the process of making that toy, I guess the people behind it decided to just play with the figure and come up with 4 random kind of half-assed transformations to add on just to make it seem even better. But you could do all those transformations on this version of Megatron 2, so I will try my best to show off all 10 transformations to the best of my ability, because the secret ones obviously won't be in the instructions for this, so I'm going to have to basically look up pictures online to try to recreate them. So cut me just a wee bit of slack. So we can take a look at the rest of the box here, and we just have some nice art of his other transformations. We have the back here. This is level 4, Expert, with all the huge warnings here. Cuidado, peligro de asfixia, piezas pequeñas, no es para niños menores de 3 años. De 3 años, my bad. I think I actually read that pretty well, surprisingly enough. But, so he has a little, little blurbs and stuff. Megatron and his evil Decepticons arrive on Earth with one goal: destruction. This causes a secret force of goodness to emerge, the heroic Autobots. Oh wait, this is the same blurb that was on Skybite on the previous video that we did, previous Transformers video I should say, that we did. Huh. Does he have... Here we go, he has his own personal blurb here.
The brilliant and evil leader of the Decepticons, Megatron, will destroy anything and anyone in order to get what he wants. And what he wants on Earth is the energy contained in the planet. But Megatron has no interest in sharing. He'll conquer the planet and take it all for himself. He has survived numerous battles and is an excellent fighter, making him a deadly enemy. His many victories have helped him gain the power of a 6-step change skill. What? Okay. And as Megatron is pretty freaking broken according to his stats here. They're all 10s across the board. So either he likes to embellish his stats, or he really is quite a powerful villain. I like what it says, product and colors may vary, as if we don't literally have the product right here. That's kind of weird. 2001 Hasbro, all the Fox Kids stuff, just like, I believe Skybait had most of the same stuff on his box as well, with the Predacon logo, of course. And Transformers.com, I wonder if that still exists. You know what, it probably does, but it's probably, like, completely different now because of all the other iterations of Transformers that have happened in the years, which is kind of interesting. What do we have on the bottom? Ooh, we have product placement for the combiners. Why is it in Spanish? Oh! Was this originally sold in, Oh my god! This was originally sold, it must have been originally sold in either Spain or Mexico then. Because this is a predominantly Spanish box. Oh wait, never mind, I'm an actual idiot. I didn't see that it says combiners right up above here. Oh, okay, wow. Alright, I'm stupid. But yeah, we have Rail Racer, which is a triple combiner of the Midnight Express, Rapid Run, and Rail Spike. I remember I really, really wanted these as a kid too. Maybe I'll get this at some point, although I think the figure is actually kind of lackluster from what I've seen. But man, dude, I remember, like, I saw this guy in the show combine out of 3 freaking trains, and I wanted him so bad. And he was another one that I never ended up getting my hands on. So maybe there's something to look out for in the future from the channel. But yeah, basically everything else is just Megatron propaganda all across the box. So, oops, I bumped the camera there. Let's take him out of his little casket. And I, of course, keep all the boxes to any collectors here cringing that I'm opening up such a sacred piece of Transformers history. But it is a toy, and it must be played with. He is begging to be freed. Or maybe he is not begging to be free. Maybe he is clinging to the box and refusing to come out. So here we go. Let's remove... like, he has like a little like extra... Oh wait, never mind. That's actually the front of the box. That protects his front here. I have undone all the twisty ties, but there's something you guys gotta see. So, as if you can take a look here, you can see that once upon a time, a lot of his like wings and stuff were held in place inside the box with these little rubber bands. But take a look at this. So they're like completely hard. There's no stretch to them. They fall complete. Look at this. It really shows just how old this is. Like, look at that. It is just snapping off. These were elastic bands. Wow. That's pretty amazing. And it's weird because, like, they look pretty intact, like, from far away when you see it in the box, you know? Like, it looks pretty nice, kinda. But, like, the slightest movement and it all just snaps all off here. I just thought that was really kind of funny and interesting. Man. These are really annoying. Alright, and now we have Megatron. We have finally freed him from all the fossilized rubber bands that were all around him. And we can take a look at the figure. As you can hear, he has lots of really nice, solid ratchet joints. Oh, oh man, yeah, these are like really stiff, which is, you know, awesome for posability. He has like, even has like foot articulation just by design, because as you will see later, they are actually dragon heads. Spoiler alert. He also has like a double jointed knee. Again, it's for certain transformations that hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate. But take a look. So he has a beautiful, beautiful shiny chest. This is probably one of my favorite. This is like the best Megatron I think that has ever been made, personally. Just because, like,
oh, so much detail just all over the place. Just detail, detail. Look at the wing membranes. You can like almost see through them. See here? Like, I don't know if it shows up actually, but it has like this almost kind of grid-like carbon fiber type patterning too on it, which looks fantastic. Like, look at that, just slight black spray for detail. Looks so good. He has an amazing color scheme. You know, a lot of Transformers, I feel, end up looking really monotone. Because, you know, either the nature of the transformation, like, you know, you can't really have a rainbow car, so, like, you know, solid colored car, and you get a solid colored Transformer. But then you have this freaking amazing piece of art. Like, holy crap. Just look at it, like, all this gold, shiny gold, silver, purple, red, like, black, everything. It's just so vibrant and so beautiful. And everything, like, look how shiny all this gold stuff is, man. It looks amazing. His little, oh man, a lot of this stuff hasn't moved in so long that it's like difficult to get it moving at first. But you're like, he has this little like wingtip finger spike thing, whatever you want to call it. Technically it's a finger in bats, I believe. So he's got his little frills too, and look at the head sculpt. Let's see if we can bring it up close. Take a look at it. It is freaking phenomenal. It looks so beautiful. Like, this thing was absolutely worth every penny back when it was released, and honestly, even now, for $100, he just looks perfect. He looks almost exactly like he looked in the show. Like, you really can't go wrong with him. It's just amazing. He doesn't have, unfortunately, he doesn't have like a ball-jointed neck, but he can look side to side, and well, oh, full 360 in full 360. So you can even have him look backwards like an owl. Amazing. Oh, I mean, I know like some people may not like the fact that these dragon feet are like just obviously sitting there, you know, like, oh, look at that. Also, hold on. All right, a few interesting developments here. For one, I noticed he actually doesn't come with an instruction booklet for some reason. It is, yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. It is taped to the bottom. He does come with an instruction booklet. But the other weird development I noticed in the box is there's these weird shredded up pieces of paper, and I have no idea what the hell they're from, which is very interesting indeed. So we'll take a look at the instructions then. But here we have these little missiles, which also double as sword blades, and man, these look fantastic. These look way better than I remembered. What the heck? Actually, these look different than I remember mine looking. But then again, it's been a very, very long time. So I could very well be mistaken here. These are stuck in the packaging. So we'll take a look at his weapon first. So you can take these two little pieces here, shove his like missile blades, whatever you want to call them, inside like so. And it does have an action feature, so you see this little red button here, you can push it, and wow. That flew way better than I expected it to. Amazing freaking quality. Everything about this toy is just pure freaking quality. So the thing I was going to look at was, I noticed this hand kind of blocks the bottom of the arm, which is going to make what I'm about to do kind of look really weird. So we're going to try to, and then I was going to use this arm, but this arm was also like, it's not straight right here. So I don't know if this was intentional. This might be like a defect of some kind, but we'll take a look here. Because for some reason, I remember on my Megatron, like my original one, his claws would be even on both sides. So he'd have his fists oh wait, no. Holy shit. Articulated, oh. He has articulated fists. You can move them. That's amazing. So, okay, so I was right. Yeah, see? Oh, man. It's stuff like that I don't expect anymore from a lot of new Transformers. Like, everything on this guy moves. Everything snaps. Everything is a joint. Okay, beautiful. So here we can do what I was gonna do. Is you put one handle into his hand, as, you know, you'd expect a handle to go. And then the other part here, you can attach with these pegs. And he has a huge, oh my goodness, everything is coming apart. Yeah, he does have a little bit of issue staying together just because he has so many moving parts for all the crazy transformations. But yes, he has a Darth Maul style double-bladed lightsaber. amazing. And he has so much articulation that he can move it. He does have like he has a lot of articulation, but it just probably doesn't translate well into the video because a lot of it is so stiff. Like, it's really hard to do this with one hand and stuff. But you could really get him into so many poses. It is incredible. So yeah, he has his weapon here. He has little pauldrons and everything that also move. And yeah, like everything, you know, you could pose his wings a little bit too, move them around and stuff. From the back, he still looks good from the back. Like, because everything is so detailed, every inch of him really, except for like kind of right here. But like, does that really matter? Like, everything else is just amazing. So I will get on to hopefully all of his transformations right now. And I'll try to like jump cut between them and maybe just do a little bit of talking about each one. And jump cut back to mode 2 of 10 on our list. We have the two-headed dragon. As you can see, the feet become the heads here. And again, the jaws are all articulated the same way the feet were when I showed you before, which is amazing. You can take a look at the sculpts here. They look freaking awesome. Oh, here's little crests they kind of don't like to stay there. They're pretty loose, unfortunately. But as you can see, you open up his claws, you extend his wings, you peg in his little sword halves into his little back here. And the backpack does flip, like it has this double hinge, so it can flip back and forth for all the different transformations. So this is how you make the back for this, and you can just bend this little tail that you may have seen hanging from the back in the previous jump cut. And you kind of make a little like kind of goofy tail like this. I mean, I guess you could straighten it out, but then you'd have to make these legs like super far forward to counterbalance it. But this like also gives him like a little tripod so you can stand him up better on the ground. Oh, kind of. Even on my unideal bed here, see, he stands really, really well because of the tripod tail, which is, you know, a good design on them. His little claw belt extends into these cute little hands for the dragon, so it still has little limbs, which is, you know, awesome. And like, yeah, I mean, you could still see the pauldrons and stuff, and they're clearly pauldrons right here. But dude, I can give anything a pass on this figure just purely based on nostalgia. But like, holy shit, this thing is just amazing. I love this figure and I can't even put into words how much I do. So yeah, this is the two-headed dragon, number 2 of 10, and we will jump cut again. Mode 3 is probably what looks like what the actual hell to all of you viewers, but this is supposed to be his hand mode, and yeah, he's a hand. He's got a little thumb and, you know, 4 fingers, so 5 fingers total, I guess. And it's weird. It's really weird. You fold him up like this. You insert the lightsaber handles into the holes that are revealed when you unplug his arms from their sockets, which is an interesting mode of transformation for sure. I don't think this actually like holds onto anything either. It's just kind of loose. It just kind of sits there in place like this. And it's just kind of weird. But the reason he has this transformation is because I believe Megatron actually did use it at least once in the Robots in Disguise show. So, you know, they brought it to toy form, all right. He is one gigantic hand. Also, this figure is pretty massive, for sure. I think it's called Supreme Class. I think that might have said it on the box somewhere. But it is quite big. Like, this is my adult hand, and wow, he's actually almost in proportion to my adult hand, which is incredible. But yeah, it is hand. Not sure what else to really say about it. It's a hand. He comes in very handy. And we have form number 4, transformation rather, number 4. And it's kind of this weird drake dragon thing, using the tail that we use for the two-headed dragon as its head. And also the back is kind of just this huge folded up backpack of legs and swords, because I guess I can put them anywhere else really. So yeah, that is form number 4. On to number 5. And form 5 was really easy to get to actually from the last form, conveniently enough in the order that I'm doing them. So, I mean, you see basically the head is in the exact same place it was before, and you just kind of unfold the legs from the back instead of the backpack, and just put them on all 4s, really, and spread the wings out. And then I think this is where they want you to attach the sword, so it's kind of like a tail. At least that's what it looked like in the pictures that I looked up. I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's like this weird sphinx dragon on all fours. So, I mean, I could respect that. It looks pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Again, you know, you can move the wings however you want. They're superposable, which I love. And yeah, I mean, this mode is all right. I like this mode quite a bit better than the last one, for sure. It just looks better. It's sturdier. It looks just more menacing, too. I dig it. I dig it. Ugh. On to mode 6. Mode 6 is this really cool jet. This is probably so far the finickiest mode to put him in, but I think it's also one of the most rewarding because it looks freaking badass, dude. This looks like something that Dracula would fly in or something, or like Batman with its backward-facing wings. It looks really, really fast. It looks really cool. I wasn't really sure how to do the arms in the back. I'm sure it was somewhere in the instructions, but I was too lazy to take a look at it. And because it's like taped to the bottom of this, so I didn't really want to bother with it, unfortunately. But I think it's pretty close to what it was supposed to be. I mean, yeah, you fold up the dragon feet like on top here to have these little cool aerodynamic fins, which I kind of like. And it just further, like, I don't know, serves to show, like, it's amazing what these toy engineers can do. Just, like, I couldn't even fathom trying to, like, build a toy like this that can transform into 5 different things and look reasonably cool. Or 10 different things, actually, my bad. That can transform into 10 different things and look reasonably cool all 10 ways. It's beyond me. I can't imagine how they do it, but, like, this has to be one of their crowning achievements. Every mode looks pretty cool. And so yeah, this jet is probably one of my favorite ones. It's pretty chunky too, which I like for a jet. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart, even if it was really finicky to put it into this mode. But yeah, like, holy shit, it looks freaking phenomenal. So on to number 7. So number 7 is this abomination, which is all falling apart. And this is clearly one of the secret Galvatron transformations, because it consists of basically just flipping the jet over and then refolding some stuff into I'm pretty sure this is what they called the hydrofoil mode. It kind of just really, really looks like they were reaching for something here to round off the 10 modes. This is kind of just a horrible mess. Also, yeah, it does suffer the Galvatron issue or the issue that the other Galvatron transformations kind of do, in that it doesn't want to fit in like this, or lest it pops off this part. But let's be real, no one's making this mode. No one is going to take the time, no one but me is going to take the time out of their lives to make this thing. Let's just forget this ever happened. On to the next one. Mode 8 is supposed to be a race car, from what I understand, and it is what all these little wheels are used for, that some of you may have noticed in the previous transformations, and just while I have been fiddling with it. This is, I believe, the only transformation that the wheels are actually used for, and they half-assed it. This is an official transformation, part of the actual 6. For this version of Megatron. You can see it right at the top there, and then you can see it again right on the box. I don't want to damage that box though, because I am going to keep all this stuff, as I have mentioned. And so from what I understand, what they want you to do is, see, there's this little hole right here, right? And there's this little peg right here, right? So of course, naturally, the hole and the peg fit together, correct? Well, no, they don't. They almost do. You can actually fit the hole into the peg. I hope you guys can see it right here. But because of just the angles and the height and stuff, there's no way that you could press it down into that peg. If you somehow were able to do it without breaking the peg off, it would then become impossible, basically, to take it off the peg. because it would be at a like perfect freaking 90-degree angle. It with like very little range of motion. Like this is like it's bad. So I mean, in hindsight, wow, I kind of had some rose-colored glasses with a lot of transformations on this guy. But I do think his robot mode does look so badass that it does make up for a lot of these kind of crappier transformations. But it is kind of dumb that like one of the main gimmicks, like the only mode that this specific gimmick is used for, they half-assed it, so it's not really possible to do. And I mean, otherwise, I think it would have looked all right. It wouldn't have looked terrible. Definitely better than the freaking abomination that is the hydrofoil. But yeah, that is a thing. I forgot that there's a little freaking wheel. There's a little landing gear for what I assume is the Batjet mode right here in his chest cavity. Oh man, I feel like it doesn't show up well at all on the freaking camera because of how sparkly silver and stuff it is. But yeah, it folds up nice and neat right into the chest cavity there. Like, wow, alright, so that was the thing I wanted to add as I was doing the transformation. Back to what I was doing. And we are back with form number 9 now, fully transformed. And as you may have guessed, kind of, maybe you can see it, but he's supposed to be an elephant. And this is one of the extra modes that were in Galvatron, not the original Megatron, but it still does work. You have to clip the neck actually into the back of the wings here, and it's freaking insanely secure clip. So you can actually pull, if you like push the wings, I don't want to actually do this because I actually did it once when I was transforming it, but if you push the wings back, the clipping, whatever you call it, the strength of like the clip here, how well it clips in, is actually stronger than the ball, than what holds this tailpiece to its ball joint. So you'll rip it right off the ball joint. So that is a thing, and you know, these are supposed to symbolize the tusks now, which is kind of cool. And even though this was kind of one of the later modes that they kind of came up with, I think this one actually looks pretty good. All things considered, I think this one doesn't look that bad. I mean, yeah, like it's got this huge amount of empty space here, which kind of looks dumb compared to its ears. But I think, like in concept, I think it looks really cool. I think it's a good idea, and I think you could still tell what it's supposed to be. So unlike the hydrofoil thing, so it gets points in that for that in my book. And I do think, I'm not 100% sure because like I've mentioned before, I haven't actually seen the entire series of Robots in Disguise, and certainly not any time in the last freaking, since I was like, you know, 8 years old. Not probably even before I was 8 years old, like 6 years old. So, but I'm pretty sure the Galvatron, at least, not Megatron, but his future undead, whatever the other toy, Galvatron, actually did have the elephant mode. He did use it in the show. So there is a reason why it exists, which is probably why it does look better than the other modes to some extent. So yeah, this was actually pretty good. On to the final mode. And we are finally, at long last, at the final form. So here he is in his little, like, gargoyle, I guess, mode. It looks kind of weird, but a little stumpy and stuff. But I do remember this mode from the show. I remember this one a lot because I remember it used to be my favorite one. Because if you guys can see here, I always thought his little dragon mouth on his like normal head looked really freaking cool in the show. And the way you actually move this is like, I kind of want to show how this actually works, because I remember when I actually had this as a kid, I had no idea how to make the dragon mouth appear. Didn't know where it was, couldn't find it, I have no idea. And then one day I was just playing with it and I'm like, huh, there's a little lump over here. What does that do? And oh my gosh, my fingers are all fat and sausagey. Oh my goodness. It is... This is bad. Here we go. I kind of got it there. And yeah, you flip it up from there. And you close his chest back up. And then you have it. The one downside, though, unfortunately for the toy, having the mouthpiece on, is that it's fixed to the actual plate. Oh, you guys can see that. It's fixed to the plate that his head is on. So if you do have the, like, dragon snout out, it impedes his articulation on his head, so you can no longer move it around. but he does look pretty imposing, just staring you down. Although he does kind of look like he has no neck here. And he's really, I mean, he's really square, which, I mean, I'm sure some people might have an issue with that kind of like just looking like a big box, like a cube with wings. Look, especially if you put his wings down, he definitely looks like a rectangle. But I do like it. Also, like, the sheer amount of just pegs that this guy has all over his body to put his weapons and stuff. For this transformation, it does instruct you to put them on his wings here. But, like, he's just covered in pegs and joints and ratchet joints and ball joints that are really random. And all this other crazy stuff. He is super, super posable. Even if some of his transformations, like, so there's an upside to him having a lot of transformations, even if the transformations, some of them kind of are lackluster, in that to achieve a lot of those transformations, it requires a lot of articulation, which bodes really well for the robot mode and the modes that you do like, because it means that you can pose him in so many different ways, even some like unintended, by what the mode actually looks like. Like the double jointed knee, for example. Like, if you didn't have all those extra transformations, they would have given him a single joint. But everyone who collects models knows that a double jointed knee is so much better for like a realistic knee pose, that you cannot achieve like a real looking knee poses and stuff with a single jointed knee, because just the way a human knee works is just weird, because we have the kneecap, so a double jointed knee kind of like mimics how that looks on a toy, which is really, really nerdy and weird to talk about, but it's the truth, and I think it does make for a good figure overall. And yeah, some of the modes suck. Some of them are really cool. Some of them are extremely finicky to put them in. But I think overall, I think it's all worth it. And I think maybe my opinion of this Transformer is tinted slightly, is altered slightly by, you know, my rose tinted goggles, you know, and the nostalgia, which my whole channel's gimmick kind of is. But like, all that aside, in truth, I do think it is still a good figure. Not as good as maybe I personally would rate it. You know, I would give this thing a 10 out of 10 any day of the week. But I think for someone normal, I think they would probably still agree that this is at least an 8 out of 10 figure. And that it is still really, really nice, especially in robot mode. I think he just looks so imposing, fantastic. I think the wings look amazing. I haven't probably never seen really a toy, especially Transformers toy, with wings that just do it for me as much as these wings. Like, they just do so much right. Just the triple, you know, the fold up away, the way they fold up, it doesn't look clunky, it doesn't look bulky, it just looks really, really good. And I am no rambling about how much I praise this figure. Also, one thing of note is, I didn't really mention this earlier, but I noticed that when I took it out of the package, his little red horn on my Megatron, it actually kind of looks like it may have straightened out a little bit now, but it looked like it was a little curved, just slightly lopsided, and I think you can kind of see that through the camera. But, I mean, it's not too big of a deal, and it doesn't really affect any of his transformations or anything like that, so it's purely aesthetic. So, yeah, it's whatever, you know, it's to be expected. This is definitely the most minor of quality control issues. I'm glad it was this and not something that could have been far, far worse. That be it, also his tail actually in this mode does also act as a little tripod for him to better keep his balance. Although I don't think it works as well as the two-headed dragon mode, but it does still work, as you can see here. But yeah, that's about it. That is the video. This has been Nostalgia Unboxings, bringing you Robots in Disguise Megatron in all his glory and slight frustration and finickiness. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I definitely enjoyed making it, and if you did, I'd really appreciate it if you guys liked, commented, and subscribed. That all helps out the channel tremendously. And just tell me what you think. Did you enjoy the video? What do you think of old Megs here? And do you think any of the other Megatrons maybe are better and I'm just a big Dumbo? Or if this really is the creme de la creme of Transformers Megatron figures? All that kind of stuff is, you know, I love feedback and all that other cool stuff. And yeah, I make a new video every Wednesday evening, so if you like to see more stuff like this, that would be when you should tune in. And other than that, guys, see you next time and have a very Merry Christmas.